Greg People would lead for the first 44 laps of the 11th race, but on lap 2, once again, Ken Schrader and Eugene Garbarewski would wreck each other out. And then Ryan Newcar would live up to his nickname, The Rocket, and go airborne on lap 9. Number 79, Hall Ingus, would take the lead at the beginning of lap 45 and lead for about 2 laps before, no, actually 3 laps, because the King took the lead on the beginning of lap 48 and leads to lap 55, where Winford Bradford Rutherford would take the lead from him and lead into lap 70, where Elliot Draftler would take the lead during that lap and lead into lap 71, but during that time, Kurt Busch-Tyer would wreck himself when he tried to wreck Sonic OMT, who would then take the lead from Elliot Draftler and then lead all the way into lap 148, for Lucas 95 would take the lead from him and lead into lap 203 for over 50 laps as well, 55 to be exact. And then he would and from there he would consistently trade the lead with me all the way into lap 221, where the King Strip Weathers would take the lead from us and then take the lead until lap 236 for 15 laps. But during that time, 10 laps before he lost the lead, Ricky Slood would leave the race due to an engine failure. Joe Brakecheck would then take the lead on lap 236 and lead all the way to lap 259. But during that time, Chick Hicks would wreck his teammate Jason Lefturn and Casey Corner on lap 243, where Carl Edwards would then take the lead. But he would only lead for 5 laps before Kevin Carvick would lead for the next 30 laps after that, before Winford Bradford Rutherford would reclaim the lead, and he would lead for 2 laps before Sonic EXC would take the lead from him and lead until lap 315. But then Chick Hicks would wreck 5 cars, which included Joe Brakecheck, on lap 314, and then he would shove Sonic EXC out of the way on a single lap later. This causes Sonic EXC to lose the lap and causes Chick Hicks to take the lead into lap 342. But Sonic EXC would quickly get his lap back on lap 321. And then Wendy would shove Chick Hicks on lap 343 and then take the lead until lap 348, where Greg People, the pole sitter, would take back the lead and lead into lap 357, where the King would take the lead for 1 lap before Lightning McQueen would take the lead for the first time this race at the beginning of lap 359, and he would lead into lap 386, where Winford Bradford Rutherford would take the lead, leading into lap 390 with 10 to go before the King Strip Weathers would take the lead from him and lead to lap 394, where Lucas 95 would take the lead from the King and lead into lap 397, but then I would take the lead from him and lead for the final few laps of the race and win the 2005 RPM Clash 400, getting my 2nd win of the season. Lucas 95 would finish 2nd this race, only losing by 2 feet. And here is the photo finish of the 2005 RPM Clash 400. The King would finish 3rd this race, Lightning McQueen 4th, Chick Hicks 5th, Wendy 6th in our 2nd start this season, Dale Earnhardt Jr. would finish 7th, Sonic EXC 8th, 1 position ahead of his number. The race that finished 9th was Winford Bradford Rutherford, and Sonic OMT would be the last racer to finish in the top 10. The last racer to finish on the lead lap altogether is Casey Gears, finishing 38th this race. Here's the rest of the results. I already went through these guys. Jeff Corvette missed out on a top 10. James Cleanero finished behind him in 12th. Tony Gaswell finished 13th this race. Claude Scruggs and Greg Candyman round out the top 15. Holling is missed out on the top 15 by finishing only 16th this race, ahead of the number 16 car, Greg People, who finished ahead of his teammate Mark Carton. Kevin Carvick, Bobby Carboni rounds out the top 20. And there's Mike Wheelhouse, who in his first start this season will finish 21st. 2 positions ahead of his older brother, who's the number 2, Rusty Wheelhouse. And Jamie McCarr finishes between them and the Crazy 8 Racing teammates of Dale Carr and Elliot Draftler will round out the top 25, beating out the jumper Jeff Burns to finish in the top 25. Carl Edwards finished 27th. Jeremy Carfield finished 28th. Chuck Armstrong 29th, and Matt Carzith will round out the top 30. Right out of Maury Clutchburn, Floyd Mulvaney and his teammate Sage Vandersmill will finish behind them. And then Kyle Busch starts in 34th. Sterling Carlin will round up the top 35, luckily managing to finish his race. alongside last race's winner Johnny Blamer, who gets his 4th successful finish. Right behind him is Brian Vickers in 37th, and Casey Gears will place 38th. Michael Cartrick, due to being wrecked by Jake Hicks, will only finish 39th alongside the racers that finished underneath him. Joe Brakecheck, despite leading some laps this race, was unable to finish the race, only rounding out the top 40, and Jason Lefter, his teammate, will round out the top 45. And Kurt Busch-Tyer is in 47th. And then here's the bottom 3 of Ryan Newcar and the 2 rivals of Eugene Karbareski and Ken Schrader. Nothing too interesting happened this race, but hopefully some more interesting stuff will happen in the 12th race, which will be coming out very soon. Hopefully sooner than this video did, so stay tuned.